Welcome to Breaking the Ice. We're Patel, Greene & Associates, and we're here to tell stories about our three favorite things: business, culture, and engineering. Let's get to it. All right, well, welcome back to the PGA Breaking the Ice podcast. I am the host, Gordon Greene, and tonight we have our marketing director, Katie Batill-Bigler, and our creative director, Ryan Terrell. I really don't know. I have no idea why I just blanked on that.
It's a good start.
Ironically, normally when I'm talking about it, because we have like 7 Ryans here, I just go with Terrell. But for whatever reason, information left my brain. All right. So this week's episode, or this month's episode, is really going to focus on marketing and branding. So that's why we got Katie and Ryan here. We're going to talk a little bit about the sort of the beginning and the growth of the marketing group, how PGA thinks and approaches marketing and branding, and where we're going to go with that into the future. So maybe to start, we'll get with, because marketing folks in the AEC industry, you don't typically go to school for that, so you kind of end up here one way or another. So
Exactly.
Maybe if we can get a little background on how you guys ended up working marketing for an engineering firm.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you nailed it on the head. I think just about everybody I know in AEC marketing, fell into this industry, because you're right. They don't talk about it in school, which is really a bummer, because it's this niche industry that really opens up a ton of career opportunities for folks in marketing and communications and creative. So, just as you said, I Cliff Notes version, I have been a broadcast news producer. I was in advertising. I've got, education in journalism and public relations. And when I moved to Florida now almost 10 years ago, saw a job ad that was like marketing and advertising coordinator. And I thought, oh, hey, I must know what that I can do that job. Little did I know it was at an engineering firm, and at the time they were mostly interested in having somebody help with proposals. And I said, well, sure, I can do that, but only if you're going to let me also do your website and external branding and social media and a slew of other things. And so that's how I kind of got into it. And 3 years after that, I was at PGA and kind of starting that whole process over again. And not long after that, we met Ryan here.
Yeah. So kind of like Katie said, they don't teach you about this in school. This was not an industry that I ever thought that I would end up in. Not that that's a bad thing, but my background prior to coming to PGA was working in the advertising world. I worked for an agency up in New York. Prior to that, I did a lot of freelance work with in the music industry, and I also worked for a bunch of random companies, like wholesale companies and stuff. So anyway, point is, I never thought that I would end up. It just kind of happened. I moved to Florida on a whim. Kind of hung around for 6 months and was like, I want to take a break and not work. And then I saw the job ad. I think it was on LinkedIn or Indeed, and I remember. And I had reached out, and then Katie and I connected, and it just so happened that we both were from upstate New York.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're both from Syracuse, and we'd worked at agencies that were right down the street from each other.
I know. That's so so weird. But yeah, it was just kind of funny how it just happened. Just kind of fell into place. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the timing of that, we, of course, when you started PGA, you kind of do all that stuff on your own, the marketing and whatever graphics you can come up with. And we kind of had a little thing going. We had someone take over a business development role, and we actually hired proposal coordinator, and we hired Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
To help with some of that. And then that person left, and so it was a good opportunity to bring in someone with a real marketing background. And of course, we ended up with Katie. And we knew from the interview that was going to be a great fit. So you were able to come in, and you had a little bit of a team started.
Yeah, definitional.
But then so we had resources here to help crank proposals out, because we were of course, we were growing, and that was we'd already identified that as a need. They had too many proposals to just rely only on the engineers and
Sure.
whatever to get that stuff done. So you identified as your first need someone with a
graphics background. I remember in my interview, I was like, I want to be really clear, that I am not a graphic designer. Like, that is not my forte. Like, I can fudge it if needed, but I got got one option, for any one design. And like, you want modifications on that? I got no other ideas. I got one idea for you. I knew we wanted, like, especially, and I think it was about a year and few months when we pulled the trigger to start looking for a graphic designer. And it was a big deal. There's this really important consideration when you're talking about aesthetics, even in our industry. As much as, especially in the public sector, as standardized as scoring criteria are, when it comes to pursuits, as stringent as guidelines are when it comes to delivering plan sets or whatever, if you have a human, that's human nature to draw a parallel between the aesthetic of a deliverable and the caliber of the work that you're delivering, the technical quality. So if you have, and this is again, especially on the marketing side, but like if you have two pursuits that are put in front of a client and they detail out the exact same approach, the same levels of experience of the staff that are being proposed or whatever, if you have one that looks so and you have one that's really clean, that's easy to read, that takes you through the story, that stands out the most important pieces, 10 out of 10 times that one is going to convey a stronger consideration of the quality of the work. So that has always been at the forefront of my kind of consideration for aesthetics. And so a lot of times, well, and hopefully less so now, but it is not uncommon to hear somebody say, oh, here's our marketing folks, they make things look pretty. And it's kind of like, well, yeah, they do. And you best be grateful for that, because it goes a really long way, and in terms of the impact of the work that you're doing. So when we said, okay, it's time, and we found Ryan, and he was awesome. I mean, that was clear right off the bat. And I want to give him an opportunity to kind of talk about like what that looked like for you when you came in, and what you saw in terms of where we were at, and how you envisioned going from there.
Yeah. So when I first came in, there was no standard. It was just, you guys had a logo. It was great. And but
it's a great logo.
It's a great logo. That's sacred ground. I have not touched that yet.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, there was a website, and there were brochures, and there was social media, but it didn't all connect. Like, there was different colors being used, different fonts, different, like, it all looked like it was like three different companies, So that was one thing I identified right off the bat, was like, we just need to unify everything. And part of that was developing the style guide. And the style guide is sort of the Bible for the marketing group, and also the company at whole, for just defining like how we do things, setting things like color palette, typeface. Even a huge portion of that is a writing guide, like in our voice, and how we, deliver, content through our writing. Yeah. But, so that was step one. So like, let's develop the style guide. And then from there, we can build off of that. So then, after that, one of the other big things was report templates. So I know that like a big thing here was delivering, reports to clients. Right. And so like I remember it was like one of my first big projects was developing report templates, specifically for like the Turnpike or car. And those were all Microsoft Word based templates, which as a graphic designer, I hate Microsoft Word, but I've learned to work with it a lot.
Right.
Even in the past, I had a lot of clients that wanted everything in
We
Microsoft
can't
Word.
train everybody in design, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't, but that'd be my dream, but it's not gonna happen. So I kind of started developing from there. And then I think like kind of as people learned like I was here and this is what I could do, it just continued to spiral from there. And just like, oh, we need this, we need that. And 5 years down the road, there's been thousands of projects that we've worked on. So.
And we brought some things I forgot about, like to show sort of the progression of the PGA design, the aesthetic here. So this was pre Katie, pre Ryan.
Yeah.
And so
Zoom in on
this
that.
is, I call this the Highway to Heaven layout.
Sort of like obituary-esque.
They're ethereal. They're glowing. It's that was Gordon's D2.
Yeah, for the record, I did that. And they're making fun of it in front of me.
For those that can't see the original website, I think, right?
I think
that was
some
takeaway
propaganda, like some marketing material for District 2. Yeah. But you're right. That's basically what our homepage of the website looked like. Mm-hmm. So we, kind of copied that deal.
And then, so there's that. And then I came on, and then this piece was something that I was like, really, I'm going to zoom in here. This piece was something I was really proud of because we created this. It had our ICE core values, integrity, commitment, and excellence, and what they mean on one side. And then at the time, it had our first 5-year strategic plan goals and our mission and our vision. And what was really nifty about it was that it's actually 5 layers of paper, and you can't see it here. And if you're listening to this podcast, just know it's very snazzy, and it has these delicate layers of green and blue paper that make it this really thick, sturdy piece. So everybody had one of these at their.
It's a piece of art.
It's very nice. But admittedly the design is somewhat simplified. So years down the road, fast forward, and Ryan has crafted all kinds of awesome things for us. And one of the pieces we could find here in the Bartow office was this folder that we use now for all of our new hires.
Yeah, it's got our
and when I love these treatments that we do. It's like their recruiting slogan
in here. It's got a business card holder, so when people start, they've got their business card set and they're ready in this folder. And then at the back it has our ICE values.
Yeah, so these are actually very kind of comparable in terms of the message, the consistency throughout. I love this design that you see in the inside that we've started, this element that we've started using with the street maps on so many things for different areas of Florida that we're doing work in.
Yeah, we've started developing like individual graphics so we can have more targeted visuals towards like, deliverables for proposals for specific clients or specific regions and stuff like that. So we've got a whole folder full of different roadmaps now we try to incorporate through everything on our website, folders, brochures, all that fun stuff. So just small little elements like that kind of, add to the visual value of stuff, but also help create consistency across the board, which to me is like one of the most important things is like, you can have something that looks really cool, but if it's not consistent, like if you got a really cool brochure here and then a website that looks nothing like that at all, but it's still cool looking, like you lose value in there. So
is it my turn for show and tell?
Go for it.
All right,
what is you doing? Oh yeah,
so this is gonna seem odd, but it's a trophy. It's gonna seem like some sort of brag, but it's not. I mean, it kind of is.
Humble brag.
All right, so this is a ping pong trophy that I won. So coming up as a kid and even as an adult, you play ping pong in the conference room or you mess around with your friends. I'm usually the best one. So if I'm playing with just friends or other engineers, I'm a pretty good ping pong player. And so this is going somewhere. So I catch wind in Lakeland, which is here in Polk County, that they got like a table tennis club. And I'm like, I want to try that. And my son was getting into it. We'll go try it. I'm not sure they'll be good enough. It might not even be fun. So we go, and it's mostly old guys. And I think, I was right. This is no fun. So we're messing around. And the whole deal is you go around and you play little pickup games with these guys. And the first time I tried any of them, I got absolutely destroyed. These people are like Olympic level table tennis players. And I realized I might be good compared to other engineers, but compared to real table tennis players, and not even real table tennis players, just like hobby table tennis players,
Johnny.
I'm not that good. So this trophy, I'm not sure we can zoom in enough. This is from the contender class, which is their nice way of saying you're going to be with the old people and the children, and good luck. I was defeated, well, by people I shouldn't have been defeated. Young people, old people, it doesn't matter. But I got third place, so I got a trophy. The reason I bring that up.
I imagine, what is this, like the first and the second?
Yeah, they're about the same size.
So,
You know,
like, it's a really
that's just the way it goes
third-
now.
third
I was
place.
proud of that. Here's the reason I bring that up. Like, I was pretty proud of this that Ryan showed. And I would say, compared to other engineers, I'm a pretty good graphic designer. We put together cool graphics and presentations before Katie and Ryan started. Plenty to be proud of. But when we hired Ryan and I saw what he could do, I could go, oh, that's what a real graphic designer is capable of. I see now. I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to let Ryan do his thing. And I realized you can mess around with this stuff and get decent at it, but you're never the real thing. You got to have like natural born talent, and that's what Ryan has. And we got the real deal, and I've loved it ever since we've hired Ryan. What did I tell you, Katie?
I know.
favorite.
Well, yeah, I know. This was a couple years ago. We do 360 reviews, and I got Gordon's input on Ryan, who just celebrated his 5-year anniversary with us. Woo woo. And I'm reading in, and it's like, oh, Ryan's awesome. You know, he does all these great things. I'm like, he's my favorite. I'm like, this is my boss. Like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
And I'm thinking, well,
You hired him.
yeah,
You
all
gave him
right,
credit, yeah.
yeah, I'm good with it.
Well.
I can't do it.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, here's how I knew. Like, we're not always so great at like explaining what we really want, but we go, I kind of want it to look like this and whatever. And inside you thinking, yeah, it'll be something, and then we'll go from there, right? And then without fail, it comes back and it's like, I don't know how
That was-
you read my mind.
I didn't
but
know that's what
that
I
is
wanted.
better than
Yeah.
what I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it happens all the time. It's
We always
amazing.
joke that like my way of asking Ryan, it's more of like an interpretive dance of like
Oh, yeah,
I'm
like-
thinking this thing that makes you feel like this, and then he comes back with it, and I'm like, yeah, that.
Yeah.
And I try to do that with other people, and it never pans out as well. And I'm like, it's gold. It's great.
Yeah, I will say that's one of the big challenges coming, here and working in this industry is that I'm not an engineer, right? And you're surrounded by engineers, and the biggest hill for me to get over was like kind of learning the engineering world when I'm not an engineer, right? And like, so trying to learn like the technical side of things to a certain degree, enough to be able to convey these concepts accurately, that works for everything. I mean, both like proposals, technical submittals, and then also for public involvement, public engagement work, and conveying that stuff to the public. So yeah, that's definitely been a challenge, but it's something that I've learned to work with, and I think so far it's true.
I think you're
Become
doing
a
okay.
real,
I think
like,
you're doing
yeah.
okay.
And you learn so fast on it too. But it's
Yeah.
come a long way when I listen to you, like how you work through like an assignment and like getting things prepped. It's really impressive now.
Yeah.
You totally surpassed me. So it's really great.
Well, thanks. I feel honored.
So one of the things that I get most often relating to our marketing is social media. I get compliments about it all the time.
Yeah.
You guys are all over social media. You do such a great job. I probably should relay that to y'all more often, but I'm doing it right now. So
Yeah, no, it counts. And we hear it from a lot of folks, and
Yeah.
they're talking to clients and teaming partners. So that's great.
So what would you attribute that success? Like everybody's on social media, everybody's on LinkedIn, everybody's doing those things. Why do you think we stand out against everyone else?
Well, I'll tell you, number one, when PGA started being pretty active on social media, everybody wasn't doing it in our industry. I mean, I think you'll agree,
true.
like engineering is kind of, we're a little behind the times of, you know, the rest of the world in a lot of ways, especially on the technology side. And I think social media was part of that. So, you know, we made it a conscious decision that was not going to be an afterthought for us. And obviously we have served the public sector and the FDOT and cities and counties for so long. And, you know, the way that we can reach those folks is somewhat constrained compared to, you know, if we can't wine and dine clients and take, you know, box seats at Lightning games or things like you could if you were just on the private sector. So the most important thing for us is to maintain a presence and stay in the forefront of folks' minds, teaming partners, clients. So social media was a really strategic thing for us, and made sure that we had somebody on our team, Shelby from the get-go, who was dedicating a good chunk of time to that, and not just pushing out any old thing, but really being intentional about the type of content that we were putting out there. The way that we approach anything in terms of how we market PGA is it's a very people-centric model. We're very consistent about our brand voice, who that is, what that is. I mean, we have specific words in our style guide that dictate what that, you know, how that voice is going to convey and what that personality of PGA is. And then obviously the actual look, right? Like the look of the posts and graphics that we do, and you can certainly speak to that.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth. I mean, I think we're probably on our like third or fourth iteration of like my team developed like a whole collection of like social media templates that all have a consistent look and feel, but convey different types of messaging. You know, we have things from, you know, anniversary posts to, you know, highlighting projects, highlighting new hires, things like that. And so, yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of work to go back and forth and go tweak things because, you know, we don't think this looks as nice as this, or maybe it doesn't convey the messaging the same way or the way we need it to. So yeah, like we've put a lot of work and a lot of thought and effort into, you know, how we display things through social media for sure.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, and on top of because like our goal is that you're going through a news, you know, you're scrolling on LinkedIn or Instagram, and you want people to recognize a PGA post without seeing a logo. Like it should be that look, that feel, that just somebody knows, you know, oh yeah, that's a PGA thing. And whether or not they actually read the content of the post, there's still an instant when they think PGA, you know, and then maybe that's a firm that has a teaming meeting later that day, and I think, oh, who do we need to put on for drainage or traffic or, you know, or all of the above, wink, wink. And they, you know, they think PGA because that's how we all do it, right? We sit in a room with the people who are going to be involved in a project or a contract, and we go, all right, who can we think of?
They got to know you exist.
Yeah. So frequency is definitely a big part of it, and the brand, you know, I always say the Apple is a great example of that. Like you hold from the packaging of a product to the product itself to the store, like you don't have to see the logo anywhere to know that something is an Apple product. And so we kind of strive for that same level of product recognition and brand recognition. So there's the frequency, there's the look, and then we're certainly really intentional about the analytics and looking at, you know, monitoring analytics, what kind of content and posts are getting the most engagement. Shelby and Laura, who are behind the scenes manning our cameras right now because Ryan is in front of the camera. You know, they're our digital comms team now. We've grown in that. And they spend a ton of time figuring out, you know, not only just what we have to share with people, but what is going to resonate with people, and what's the value, like what content we have that's going to be valuable to our audiences, right? So it's not just, oh, we're doing this, or, you know, or we won this project or, whatnot. It's here are our people. Here's what they're accomplishing. Let's celebrate that. Let's show you how they're working to improve our communities. So that's really how we try to drive our social media. And like you said, I mean, I think it's really, it's grown so much. I remember when we got, Shelby probably remembers this, when we hit 1,000 followers, that was like, woo! And now, what are we over? 3,000?
Yeah, we're over 3,000 for sure.
Over 3,000. Wow. And we're just going to keep on going.
On to 10,000.
Yeah. And beyond, so.
Well, I think that recognition and that acknowledgement of how effective that is, it's not just in teaming, like you're saying. It's, I think a big part's been in recruiting.
Yes, that's a great point.
And that's because people get a sense of our culture through a lot of that. I mean, I think y'all are doing that intentionally, and it's palpable when it comes through. People get a sense of what it's like to work at PGA because we do focus on the people, and like we say around here a lot, like the culture is the people. Yeah. I mean, you can't really have this culture without the people that buy in and feed into and make up that culture. And it's also, I think, and we're going to talk about website next, and it's going to be the same story. It comes back to those core values like you have there, that excellence. Like, if we're going to do social media, we're going to be the best at social media, or that's what we're going to be working towards anyway. And so that's really, what we've tried to do really in everything that we do to make sure that we are trying to do the best out of that we can be.
Yeah. And that just means constantly evolving, right?
And not just checking a box. Like, we're not box checkers with anything where we go, well, we have a marketing group, I guess we need to do social media, and the thing tells me I'm supposed to do, one every week or something. I don't really want to take too much time thinking about what I want to do. So we'll just say happy, apple pie day, or, look that stuff up and go, okay, well, I put a post out. I guess I did my job. Like, I remember the first time I saw one of those, I was like, of course, you were way ahead of me. I didn't have to convince you. I was like, we will never.
You brought that up in my interview. I remember that. You were like, I can't remember which one it was, but you were like, how do you feel about like National Popcorn Day or something? Like, is that something that you would post about?
Is that post-worthy?
And I was like, is this like a trick question? I was like, is he like really?
I feel like I asked you a few questions like that.
Person, and I'm like, I mean, it's your name on the door. But yeah, I think we definitely put a lot of thought into the content, and I think it's all really high quality and valuable.
Yeah. Well, so there's no secret to being effective at it. It's just work. It's
time.
Just effort and care and pride and going, if we're going to do this, we are going to do it right.
And I think, and it's not, I mean, our marketing team and our digital comms team is awesome at it, but it really does take the support of everybody at PGA, all of the people that we feature. We're constantly relying on them to be sharing information with us, like as great as Shelby and Laura are, and as much as they know what's going on. There's stuff we miss, right? Because we're growing. We got so many things, so many things going on. So yeah, people are constantly sending us stuff. Oh, we got this going on. Hey,
I'll get that sometime. Do you think they will put this on social media? I'm like, yeah. I'm sure they are always looking for ideas on content. So, yes, please get with Shelby. Yep.
Yeah, and it's a good problem because sometimes we'll run through on Monday morning, like everything we got for the week or for next week, that following, and we're like, there are not enough days in the week.
Yeah.
I
know there's a lot of content that goes out there, and I don't know how those team manage it. Shelby and Laura, because it's a lot. It's even a lot on our end just to develop the templates and the layouts and stuff.
On the creative team?
Yeah, the creative team. So like just trying to manage, and also you have to be organized, right? Because you've got this person telling you this and this person telling you this, and then trying to remember important dates to highlight and things like that. Right. It's a lot. So I definitely give them kudos for being able to, manage all of that. So
yes. Yeah, we're definitely known for it. All right, so let's move on to website. Really, yes, we redid a website, and y'all can talk a little bit about how that went for y'all, but it's not really like social media. Same idea. We wanted it to be really good, but that was a whole different process. That's a different animal. I think we had, by the time we did that, we'd moved on from the floating angel head
Yes.
website to some sort of Weebly thing that
Don't say that word. Don't say
it.
that word.
Don't say Weebly. Every time that's mentioned, the old website pops back up.
Like, get that out of the cache across the board.
whoops. Well, anyway, we did our best,
website that should not be named.
and it was, fairly clean and whatever, but it wasn't to the caliber we had, brought everything else up to.
Yeah.
So that was just, it was time, and we did that, and y'all did a really great job for that, but maybe talk through that process a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, as I think, firstly, I think just like how social media is an avenue to reach our team partners and clients because of the constraints of the public sector. I think you have to think about that on the website too, and how for a lot of engineering firms, and especially at that point, it wasn't a huge priority because you don't have, clients, you don't have FDAT, like, transportation engineering firm like Bartow, Tampa, and then like look at, I'm gonna ask them to do the work. So kind of it sat for a little bit, and Ryan and I both knew we really wanted to tackle this, and it was no small venture, and we went through a really long vetting process, got somebody on board.
This is part of the story. Definitely tell it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No name.
Okay. No, I don't even remember their name.
I do, but I will never forget the name.
Yeah. Well, I did. This is a good word story. I mean, yeah. So you had talked about our level of excellence that we demand
Right.
in all things, and this certainly held true for a website. And we had a vision of what we wanted. And our goal, this was going to be a recruiting tool above all else. And to feature our people and our culture, and to, again, when you're talking about aesthetics, like we wanted the aesthetic caliber of this site to resonate and convey the caliber of the technical work that we do and the quality of our people. So yeah, we had worked and built a deal, gotten a deal together with one agency to build the website. We tried to convey all of that to them. We got the first draft of a design for the homepage back, and it was less than great.
Yeah.
Less than great.
Which is fine. Like,
Which was
whatever. Make a
fine.
deal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, rule of thumb, it looked like something that I pared down. And so we tried to give them some good feedback coming back, and they didn't like that. They did not like the feedback. So, and they got really offended. And I've never, as somebody, and both of us coming from, we both served on the agency side, and now we're on the client side, like have a certain expectation of what that relationship should look like. Can't imagine owning a business and speaking to a client that way. So we cut those ties.
You're done.
Real quick. Yep. And fortunately, and then we did land on a local agency, or an Orlando-based agency here. And still, I mean, it was one of those things where, just like anything, we had to work with them.
We almost wore them out, but they were good.
Yeah.
They worked with us.
They earned their fee, and we worked with them to get the design exactly what we wanted and to serve our purpose. And yeah, Ryan, you drove that design. You want to talk about like what? And I should say this: our award-winning website, our Zweig first place website.
Yeah,
so.
that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Nice to see, because we put so much heart and soul and time and effort into that thing. I mean, it was a long project. So like Katie had mentioned, we had a vision for what we wanted this website to be, not just, how it operates, but also how it looks and feels. And I'm all big about like user experience, and one thing we wanted to do was to tie the user experience and the look and feel of the website into the look and feel of our offices, so that when you come to the website, it's like stepping into a PGA office, right?
If
And
you're a
like,
prospective employee, you're checking us out, you've got an interview the next day in the office.
yeah.
When you walk in there, you're like, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what I expected.
So, you know, for those who have not been to a PGA office, it's very light and airy, and, you know, lots of white space, which we've
Lots of waves.
Yeah, the waves. But yeah, so, you know, we sort of we wanted to convey that, and so we sort of helped direct the design with the agency, but they had a team that I think did a pretty good job, and they were very open to feedback, which was great. So so we wanted to tie that all in. So there was a lot of work that went into, you know, thought and process of building the site. And as I mentioned, it was a long project, so it finally got up, but it's a never ending project.
Right.
Like it's always, you know, to your point about like excellence, and like, it's always, okay, how do we take excellence a step further, you know? So it's constantly being updated. Another thing that Shelby and Laura are huge participants in, thank you. And so, but it's constantly updating the graphics and making sure that, you know, like on our homepage slider, like we're conveying new and relevant information, like highlighting new offices that we've opened, you know, new staff that we've hired, new groups, service lines that we've started. And then also, you know, there's lots of parts of the website, like individual pages that have things like blog posts and, you know, current events and things like that. So, you know, there's a lot of maintenance that comes with that as well. But you know, I'm happy with the look and the feel, and we've maintained that pretty well, because, you know, one thing, you know, working on the agency side, I used to see this all the time. We'd build what I thought was a really great looking website for somebody, and then the client would go in and throw their own low quality graphics and photos in it, and you're like, I think they just ruined it. So, yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
And just like the social media approach, you know, it's a people centric like website. Like if you check out our website, you will know us. There are no stock photos on our website. It is all us. And you know, just like we're doing this podcast, like we do our own photography. We, you know, we figure it out. We do it in house, and we learn and get better and better. But all of that, it's our people, it's our work, and I think all of that is very well encompassed and packaged in that, and you get a true sense of who we are through the website.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was definitely a big part of. Before we started on any of that, we decided what's our primary audience, and we decided, well, we want to grow, so it's got to be recruiting. It's primary. You get a lot of information no matter who you are going to the website, but we really want to draw people in, again, and get a sense of what it's like to work at PGA, and you'll like it, and then maybe people think about applying for a job. So, all right, so we've covered a lot of ground. Let's talk about kind of where we're at now. We've grown quite a bit, and that includes the marketing group. So we've been able to really get into some specialization and build out the things that we as a company are able to put out through the marketing. So that's maybe where we're at now, and then once we, you know, do that, maybe talk about even where we're going to go
Beyond.
from here.
Yeah. So I think we kind of touched on this, if it wasn't super clear. So when I came on board, it was November 2018. So over 6 years ago. Devin and Shelby were here, and there was a little bit of social media, a little bit of pursuit support. And then so it was the three of us for a while. We brought Ryan in, and then since then, we were really trying to be purposeful in how we grew and filling different roles. As you know, a lot of that was pursuit capacity, right? Because as PGA continues to grow, we need to be able to feed those folks and get more to be able to continue to grow. So obviously the pursuit demand was the biggest area. So we brought on several more marketing coordinators, and eventually both as those folks continue to develop and grow into marketing managers, and we brought in some senior help too. We also started being more intentional about the comm side. So having digital comms as a specific thing, and now we're also we have a dedicated comms team, and looking at opportunities for external communication as well as the internal comms. Like our newsletter, we're developing a new intranet. A lot of different ways that help support our culture at PGA, and making sure that everybody feels, both included and tied into the same, to one company. And then we have our creative team, and Ryan's grown that a good bit. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So obviously it started with me, and then we brought on Rachel, who was a really great hire because she's very multifaceted, and she actually has her master's degree in instructional design. And so we brought her on, and she started off as serving strictly a graphic design role, and then she sort of transitioned now into an instructional and multimedia design. So still a multifaceted role.
She does a lot of video editing, graphics, but she also. Yeah, she'll be editing this probably. She doesn't know that yet, but she's also now building out our the PGA LMS, which is our learning management system, and she's developing trainings, for the company for discipline-specific trainings, HR-related trainings. She's got a very long list that she's working on, but so we brought her on, and then we brought on Elise as an additional graphic designer. There's so much opportunity. I mean, no matter how big we grow, there's always still more a demand for graphics and things. So and you do a lot of billable work too.
Yeah.
You support a lot of our projects. Develop, like whether it's a master plan document or renderings or safety. Videos for the district safety offices. So we're 11 strong now across the whole marketing group. I think it's the industry average that I've been able to find documented is something around 3% of a company's employee roster is comprised of marketing folks. You will also find that in a lot of those companies where there's just 3% of marketing, that those are very burnt out individuals.
Correct.
So I have found that about a 6% proportion to the company is pretty good. And obviously there's ebb and flow, and sometimes we have to stretch to handle capacity when things get crazy, because things get crazy, right? That's what we signed on for. But it's allowed us to not only handle the day-to-day, but be able to grow and expand and explore and do fun things that we wouldn't have, and credit to Gordon and Hiron and, PGA leadership. There have been so many times where I'm like, so I was thinking about doing this thing. And like, what are you doing this thing? And it's totally off the cuff or random. And they're like, yeah, let's try it out. And, like our holiday videos.
Oh, that's fun.
With all the kids from all of our employees. So I think that it's so important for a company for an AEC firm to understand the investment, the worthwhile investment in the marketing group and what you can get out of that. It's more than just proposals and
it's important to stand out. I think in those things everybody can get excited about, well, I guess we've got to do some sort of holiday something or another, or we've got to, again, people just, I think too often just check the box to go, well, we've got a marketing group, I guess we have to do these things, but I'm not really that excited about it, so we'll do it. And it's you might as well have not done anything. It's a total waste of time. It's lost in the sea of everybody else doing something mediocre. So when you stand out, you actually get the value out of it. So we're always striving to do a holiday video, bring people's kids in, do the whole thing. And we have a lot of fun doing it.
We
We actually enjoy spending time with each other.
Most of it.
It's fun for us participating.
What was that? I saw a meme earlier I shared with the group. It was a picture of a flag that it said, like, we did this because
We do it, but not because
I'm gonna run this. This is awkward because we're
not because we love it. We do it because
No.
it's easy.
No, we do it not because it was easy, but because we thought it would be easy.
We thought it would be easy.
That's
Yes,
what we
yeah.
thought on the holiday video at first, and but again, it takes work, and you invest in it. I mean, coordinating, gosh, what, like 20 kids between the ages of like 6 months and
Yeah.
18 and get them all to stand where you want and say the thing you want and
One room at one
put
time.
it all together into a 2-minute video. That is no small feat.
Yes.
But we get the recognition for it. People love our holiday
Yes.
videos every year
It's
they come
become a
out.
thing.
Yeah,
I love
it's a
it.
tradition.
I love it.
Yeah, you got to one up yourselves every year. Good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how that's gonna happen. we gotta get really creative for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll make it work.
So what's ahead? So we got a pretty
Yeah.
good, marketing was one of the areas. It's part of our current strategic plan. It's about, in 2024 was certainly the case. It's about building out more of that infrastructure. So, we're probably going to have like an episode with Caitlin in here where we'll talk about all the HR stuff that we
Yeah.
built out. You talked about LMS and some of those things. That was a big part of it, but also just building out that marketing team. I think we hired quite a few folks into the marketing group in 2024,
Yeah.
or at least like maybe
Yeah.
late 2023,
No,
whatever.
yes.
Like it was quite a few, just so like everything's in place so that as we continue to grow, we're not scrambling, we're not trying to catch up. We've
Yeah.
got processes and we've got the team in place and the organization, which is what you were able to accomplish in large part in 2024. So now here we are,
Yeah.
and we're running.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if in the podcast so far, have you talked at all about like the 300-person org chart or beyond?
We
at
haven't
all
got
for
much into that.
PJ?
That's a good idea. Someone write that down.
Well, just
Yeah.
really, really high level. So
Yeah.
you've got this concept for how we're going to grow into a 300-person firm, and what are like you said, what are the slots that we
Right.
need to fill from an infrastructure standpoint to support us in that growth. And so every discipline, every group, including marketing, has done this. And so keeping that kind of 6%, thought in mind, I built out, an initial map of where I'm hoping that we can grow. And that includes, broadening the pursuit team across our offices, so that it's really important to me that our staff, whether they're in Fort Lauderdale or Tallahassee or Bartow or beyond
Knoxville,
Florida,
Tennessee. Knoxville, Tennessee.
Not well, okay. I wasn't. Yeah,
Not
Knoxville,
Tennessee.
Tennessee. I see you. But that they all feel like marketing is right there, supporting them, and that they've got people one-on-one to help them through the pursuit process. But even and making sure we've got that full ladder stacked at all levels, so that all those different areas of responsibility are covered. And then expanding out in our other
We can
areas.
scale.
There's so many things on the comm side that I want us to do. You'll be hearing more from us. But and building that up, and then on the graphic side too. I know,
Yeah.
creative side. I know we've talked a lot about where we want to go there.
Yeah, I think video is the big thing because there's such a demand for it. I mean, we do a lot of video work on our own as is, but none of us are award-winning videographers, and I definitely think there's opportunity there to step that up a little bit. So I think that'll probably be our next hire, would be like a videographer, dedicated videographer. Probably someone who understands some still photography too and stuff. But yeah, there's such a demand for video, whether it's social media or through our website or, just like the holiday video, different email campaigns we send out. And
Projects,
Projects,
being
yes.
on
Yeah.
projects, both at the
Highlighting
like
that.
construction and then as built, and get the drone footage
Getting
going.
the drone out there, which we've started doing. We have a good amount of staff that are drone certified here. So our game plan is just to slowly start building up that library of drone footage of highlighting all our projects, so we can use that to put together some really cool videos that showcase the great work that we do here. and find some other uses for that as well. But I think, videos then is just, there's such a demand for it. It's just so much more you can do with video versus just like a static like graphic, so, and you can really tell stories through that. So that's what I think we really, really want to do, with the next step of growing the creative team.
Well, and just in step with how the trajectory of how we've been going 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I never would, it's hard to imagine what we looked like
Right.
when we're a team of 11 for a company of 160 plus folks. And I think what's really cool is all of the areas that we don't even know yet what are going to be possible for ways that we can support PGA, from a winning work perspective, from a brand recognition perspective, from a recruiting perspective, and an internal relations perspective, and just having the ability and the drive to explore all those different ways that we can continue to elevate the company, elevate our staff, and our clients as well. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds.
Same here. I know ever since we brought you on, I know that I can still remember a lot of the interview where I had this whole list of questions because we'd had a couple of interviews before then, and I wasn't getting all the answers I was really looking for. But you answered all my questions just like I wanted, and you even brought some things up on your own. So I was like, okay, this is going to work. Because I think you got a sense of like how seriously like I took it.
Yeah. I could tell that.
And I think you kind of responded to
description.
that.
Yeah.
You knew that I was going to, I think, support you. And we can and have had multiple like really great conversations, like think through these things where,
with different perspectives on it too.
yeah, absolutely. But we both take it seriously. And I think that really works great. But from the get-go, I've always had such a trust in you to pursue all those things and deliver those things. And of course, you built up a team.
Yeah.
Ryan's a great example. Having Laura and Shelby here, like everyone on the team, of course, feeds off of the two of you and the rest of the team. You built a sort of microculture even within PGA. That feeds that. So it's like I told you before, it's a huge relief for me. I don't have to be like driving you all to like care more. And I fear that sometimes that happens at other firms where it's just a job and, I guess I got to do these things and just kind of get the job done. Like you guys are always pushing to, get better and better and better. And
Well, I think it's because we understand, we see that there's an appreciation for the work that we bring forward, and that I think it's the standard that's set across the company. And I know that I've talked to folks, especially at PMs who we work with on pursuits and stuff, who come in from other firms, and they're kind of blown away by the level of support that they get from our marketing team, that it's a completely different level from what they're used to. And they're just, oh yeah, wow, okay, like I get it. And yeah, I love it. That makes my day. That makes me day.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's always, I feel like we're always looking for new ways that we can support, our PMs and other technical staff and stuff too. So, obviously that's what we're here for. Marketing is here to support the rest of the team, the rest of the company. So
yeah, PGA is our client. That's what I used to tell the team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we treat it like we're an agency, you guys are the client, and we are here to serve you and do whatever, whatever's needed.
Well, you've got lifelong contracts, so sorry. All right. Well, I really appreciate the time y'all coming and talking through this stuff with me. It was a lot of fun, and I really look forward to the future.
Oh, thanks.
Everything we're going to do.
Oh yeah, we're going to go PGA.
Wow, we haven't done it right yet, so yeah, we can
All right.
try it. Yeah. All right, so we're going to see how this goes. We end this way a lot, so on the count of 3, we're going to do it and see if we can get it right this time. All right. 1, 2, 3. Go PGA! Hey, we did it.
That was the first time.
Yeah.